Alien BILU and the Children. Brazil's most terrifying encounter with a shape-shifting being. What I'm about to reveal has been buried in the remote regions of Brazil for nearly 2 decades, and the evidence is so disturbing that witnesses are still afraid to speak publicly. In 2007, a group of children encountered something that defies every law of physics we know. A being that could appear and disappear at will, manipulate matter from thin air, and change its physical form in seconds. This isn't science fiction. This happened to real children in a place called Tequila, deep in the Brazilian wilderness, and what they witnessed will change everything you think you know about alien contact on Earth. Natalia Reichel was just 8 years old when she first arrived at Tequila Research Center with her mother. Her grandmother had been visiting this mysterious location since 1997, constantly talking about beings from other dimensions and abductions that happened in this remote area. Natalia's mother was terrified, convinced that bringing her daughter to this place would result in an abduction. But something drew them there anyway, something they couldn't resist. And what happened during their first visit was so extraordinary that they stayed for 45 days, unable to leave, witnessing manifestations and lights inside their home, making contact with entities from the 9th dimension. But the encounter that would mark Natalia forever happened when she was 12 years old. She was part of a children's group at Tequila, and they had been having repeated physical contact with an extraterrestrial being they called BILU. This wasn't a distant sighting through binoculars or a blurry photograph. This was face-to-face interaction with an entity that appeared in solid physical form, spoke to them, and demonstrated abilities that seem impossible according to our understanding of reality. The children wanted to give BILU a gift. It was near Christmas, and they spent an entire day making cards, drawings, and gathering their most precious personal objects. They filled a large bag with these presents, offerings from innocent minds to a being from another world. Then BILU's voice called out from the forest near a rock formation they called Pedra Fatiada, the sliced stone. He asked for 4 children to come to him. Natalia was chosen, along with Nicholas, Nicole, and 1 other child. The rest of the young people, over 100 of them, waited on the road as these 4 entered the dense Brazilian forest, following a voice that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. They walked deeper into the vegetation, BILU's voice guiding them. "Take 5 more steps," he would say, then 7 more, then 5 again. The strange thing was that no matter how much they walked, the voice never seemed to get closer. It was as if space itself was bending around them, stretching the distance between the children and their destination. This went on until suddenly, they were there, standing just a few feet away from him. BILU was behind some low brush, but they could see him clearly. He was small, about the same height as 12-year-old Natalia, maybe 3.5 feet tall. But what they saw was completely physical, solid, real. This wasn't a hologram or a projection. This was a living being standing in front of them in broad daylight. BILU reached for the large bag of presents. The children watched as he pulled it toward him, and the bag simply vanished behind him, disappearing into thin air as if passing through an invisible doorway. The children were already stunned, but BILU wasn't finished. He told them he would give them a gift in return. He instructed Nicholas to place his baseball cap in the center of the circle they had formed. The cap was placed on the ground, with BILU's hand hovering just above it. Then he told all 4 children to hold the cap with both hands. They obeyed, each child gripping the fabric, with BILU's hand positioned above their hands. Here's where everything we understand about physical reality breaks down. A light began emanating from the palm of BILU's hand. Not reflected light, but light generating from his flesh, from his cells, from whatever biological or interdimensional structure composed his being. And then, impossibly, colored stones began raining down. Pink stones, blue stones, yellow stones, transparent crystals, pouring from his palm like water from a faucet. But there was no mechanism, no hidden tube, no trick. Just pure materialization of matter from a beam of light. The children were so shocked they released the cap and the stones began falling to the ground. But more kept coming, kept materializing from that hand, from that light. Do you believe there is life on other planets? Do you think beings from other worlds are already here, walking among us, interacting with us in ways our governments don't want us to know about? Leave your answer in the comments because what I'm about to tell you next proves that alien contact is not only real, it's happening far more frequently than anyone admits. The children dropped to the ground, trying to catch the falling stones, examining Bailu's hand for any sign of how this was possible. There was nothing. No hidden compartment, no sleight of hand illusion. Just an alien being creating physical matter from light energy. Bailu told them not to worry, that there would be enough for everyone. And he was right. From that one manifestation, they collected enough colorful stones to give one to each of the more than 100 young people waiting on the road. Perfect distribution, impossible odds, and yet it happened exactly as he said it would. But Bailu wasn't done demonstrating his abilities. He asked the 4 children if they wanted to see him grow large. Of course they said yes. What happened next violates every principle of biology and physics we've been taught. In seconds, not minutes, not gradually, but in mere seconds, Bailu's body expanded from 3.5 feet tall to over 6.5 feet. He grew before their eyes, his physical mass increasing, his form stretching upward like a time-lapse video of a plant growing, except this was happening in real time with a living, breathing, conscious being. He laughed and said, "Look at me now, I'm Big Bailu, I'm Heavy Bailu." Then, just as quickly, he shrank back down to his smaller form, demonstrating complete control over his physical structure. This kind of shape-shifting has been reported in indigenous cultures around the world for thousands of years, but modern science dismisses it as myth and superstition. Yet here we have multiple child witnesses in the year 2007 in Brazil watching an extraterrestrial being physically transform his body mass and height at will. This isn't ancient folklore. This is contemporary evidence of technology or biological capability so advanced that it looks like magic to us. After the demonstration, Bailu told the children to return to the road, to distribute the stones, and to share their experience with everyone waiting. And they did. Every single young person received a colored stone that had been materialized from light energy by an alien hand. These weren't bought from a store. They weren't gathered from a riverbed. They were created from nothing, in front of witnesses, by a being who had complete mastery over matter and energy in ways that make our most advanced technology look primitive. But who is Bailu? What race of beings does he belong to? According to researchers at Tequila, Bailu is associated with entities from the 9th dimension, beings that exist in a higher state of consciousness and physical vibration than we do. They can lower their frequency to become visible and tangible in our 3-dimensional reality, but their natural state exists beyond what our senses can normally perceive. This would explain his ability to appear and disappear, to manipulate his size, to create matter from energy. He's operating from a level of reality where the rules are different, where thought and intention can directly influence physical form. The location where this happened, Tequila Research Center in Brazil, has been a hotspot for extraterrestrial contact since the 1990s. It's located in Mato Grosso, a region known for cattle mutilations, UFO sightings, and frequent reports of alien encounters. Natalia's grandmother had been visiting since 1997, and the experiences there were so intense that when Natalia and her mother first arrived, they witnessed lights manifesting inside their house, direct contact with non-human intelligence, phenomena that most people never experience in their entire lives. And they experienced it repeatedly every single day for 45 consecutive days. Think about that. 45 days of constant paranormal and extraterrestrial activity. This wasn't a one-time sighting they could later dismiss as a misidentification or hallucination. This was sustained, repeated, witnessed contact with beings from another realm of existence. And it wasn't just Natalia's family. There were over 100 young people at Tequila that day when Bailu materialized the stones. Over 100 witnesses to an event that should be impossible. How many of them have told their stories? How many are afraid to speak up because they know they'll be ridiculed and dismissed? This is the reality of alien contact that the mainstream refuses to acknowledge. It's not always about flying saucers and abductions aboard spacecraft. Sometimes it's far more intimate, far more personal. It's beings who interact with us directly, who communicate, who give gifts, who demonstrate their abilities in ways designed to expand our understanding of what's possible. Bailu didn't harm these children. He didn't terrorize them. He gave them an experience that would stay with them for the rest of their lives. Proof that we are not alone. proof that consciousness and reality are far more flexible and mysterious than we've been taught. But here's what's truly disturbing about this case. Why isn't this front page news? Why aren't scientists swarming to Tequila to document these encounters? Why are we still pretending that alien contact is theoretical when we have locations on Earth where it happens with documented regularity? The answer is that acknowledging this reality would shatter too many comfortable illusions. It would force humanity to confront the fact that we are not the dominant intelligence on this planet, that there are beings here who possess abilities we can't explain or control, and that our understanding of physics and biology is incomplete at best. There's another layer to this that most people miss. Bailu specifically chose to interact with children. Not military personnel, not government officials, not scientists with recording equipment. Children. Innocent minds not yet hardened by the limitations society teaches us to accept. Children are more open, more receptive, less likely to rationalize away what they experience. And perhaps more importantly, children are our future. By making contact with young people, Bailu and beings like him are planting seeds of awareness that will grow as those children become adults. Natalia is now 27 years old, and she's sharing her story. How many other children from that group are out there, carrying this knowledge, slowly building a generation that knows the truth about non-human intelligence on Earth? The stones themselves are physical evidence. Over 100 people received them. Where are they now? Are they in drawers, in jewelry boxes, on shelves? Have any been scientifically analyzed? What would that analysis reveal? If matter can be created from pure energy by an alien consciousness, what does that tell us about the nature of reality itself? Are we living in a universe where consciousness is the fundamental building block, where intention and focused can literally reshape physical form? That's what Bailu demonstrated that day, and it aligns with what ancient mystical traditions have claimed for millennia, that mind creates matter, that we are living in a consciousness-based reality, not a purely mechanical one. The shape-shifting ability is perhaps the most unnerving aspect. If an extraterrestrial being can change its size from 3 feet to 6.5 feet in seconds, what else can they do? Can they change their appearance completely? Could they walk among us looking human when they're something else entirely? The implications are staggering. We assume we know what humans look like, but if there are beings here with this level of biological or technological control, how would we ever know? How many encounters happen every day where we interact with non-human intelligence without realizing it? Military and government agencies around the world have known about shape-shifting phenomena for decades. There are classified reports from Brazil, from the United States, from Russia, describing entities that can alter their physical form. But this information is kept from the public because it's too destabilizing, too frightening. It suggests that our reality is far more malleable and far more populated with non-human consciousness than we want to admit. Tequila Research Center is just one location where the veil is thin, where these beings choose to reveal themselves, but there are others. Remote areas in every country where similar contacts happen away from cameras and official documentation. What Natalia experienced wasn't an isolated incident. Bailu had been appearing to the children's group regularly, engaging in physical interactions, building a relationship. This is consistent with reports from around the world of certain extraterrestrial races engaging in long-term contact with specific human groups, especially in areas far from government control and military bases. These beings seem to prefer gradual, trust-based relationships over dramatic mass sightings. They're teaching us, preparing us, expanding our consciousness one small group at a time. The fact that this happened in Brazil is significant. South America has one of the highest rates of UFO sightings and alien encounters in the world. Countries like Brazil, Chile, and Peru have official government programs that investigate these phenomena seriously, unlike the United States where the topic has only recently begun to be discussed openly. The Brazilian military has documented hundreds of cases involving multiple witnesses, radar confirmation, physical traces, and direct interaction with craft and beings. Operation Prado in the 1970s documented systematic UFO appearances in the Amazon that were so intense and frightening to local populations that the military had to intervene. This isn't fringe conspiracy theory. This is documented military history. Tequila exists within this broader context of South American contact. The beings who appear there, including Bailu, are part of a larger presence that has been interacting with humanity in that region for generations. Indigenous tribes have stories of sky people, star ancestors, beings who came from above and shared knowledge. Modern encounters like Natalia's are a continuation of this ancient relationship, now happening to a new generation using contemporary language and concepts. The message seems consistent across time. We are not alone, reality is more expansive than we think, and consciousness is the key to understanding our true place in the universe. The gift exchange between the children and Bailu is symbolically profound. The children gave their most precious possessions, offerings from the heart of innocent belief. Bailu responded by demonstrating creation itself, manifesting matter from energy, showing them that reality operates on principles they don't teach in school. It was a teaching moment disguised as play, a profound spiritual lesson wrapped in childhood wonder. Those children will never forget what they saw, and that's exactly the point. This is how consciousness evolves, through direct experience that bypasses intellectual doubt and implants unshakable knowing. As I stand here telling you this story, there are children somewhere on Earth right now having similar encounters. There are locations across every continent where non-human intelligence makes itself known to those who are open to seeing. The question isn't whether this is happening. The question is, what are we going to do with this information? Are we going to continue pretending that reality is limited to what mainstream science allows us to believe? Or are we going to open our minds to the possibility that we live in a universe teeming with intelligence, consciousness, and forms of life that operate on principles we're only beginning to understand? Natalia's story is a gift to all of us, a window into a reality that exists just beyond the edge of what we're told is possible. Tequila Research Center continues to operate, continues to document contact, continues to be a place where humans and non-humans meet and interact. The stones that Bailu created still exist, scattered among 100 witnesses who know what they experienced, who carry physical proof in their hands that matter can be created by consciousness, that beings from other dimensions walk this earth, and that the truth about our universe is far stranger and more wonderful than we've been taught to believe. If you want to know more about alien encounters in Brazil, check out our next video where we reveal the terrifying abduction case that the Brazilian military tried to erase from history. Make sure to subscribe because we're uncovering evidence that governments around the world have been hiding from humanity for decades. And let us know in the comments. After hearing this story, do you believe contact with extraterrestrial beings is happening right now? Or are we all alone in this universe? Your answer might be different after what you've learned today.